So let's check the first one. It was on the 27th of January. Oh my God, an EMA. So don't blame me. At this time, I just started going to the mentorship. You can see that eventually I removed the CMA, so don't roast me, please. I spent the last 7 months forward testing and back testing the 2022 ICT mentorship and its fair value gap. After watching more than 40 hours of Papa ICT and logging 180 trades, I think I find my model. So let's test it. Today is first, I'll go through the trading day that I had today. It's also good for me so I can look back into it a little bit in a few weeks or in a few months. But also why I took the trade and all the instances that were similar to this trade in my journal. So I think that's going to be a little bit interesting today. So again, on the 15 minutes, yesterday's high, today's high, today's low, yesterday's low, and then the New York midnight and 8:30 a.m. Down the 5 minutes, just a quick look just to see what happened. Something interesting here, the fair value gap here got touched here and then rejected, but this was during London. And then it got rejected at 7 a.m. Always good to look into the London session a little bit. And then again here you can see this fair value gap that got filled during at around 8 a.m. But I usually come to the screen at 9 a.m. So that's why I start here. For the one new here, I don't trade before the 9:30, so I always skip price until the 9:30 open, and then I check what happens because I don't want to be inside the volatility, as you can see here. So we took out this level and then had one fair value gap right there. And then one right there. Displacement, almost 600. Okay, now I went to 600. Yeah. So my order would be here. And if the price comes back before 9:55, I can take the order with a stop loss of 25. We could go for today's high. But it needs to come back before 9:55. Okay, since the target already got taken out, I removed that, and you can see here that this fair value gap got filled. But I always take my trades inside the first one. Displacement of 400 with the fair value gap, but since it's not enough, I don't take this trade. Here's an example why. Because you know today's high, which was right there, we took out this level, then had a rejection, had the low taking out, had the fair value gap. So everything was filling my trading plan except for the displacement. So that's why I didn't take it. But it did fill this small fair value gap right there. So there was this high, we took out this high here and then had a displacement of 400, leaving this fair value gap, but I'm not taking it because it's not 600. Another fair value gap, but I'm not taking it. The one that I took this morning is this one. Not 600 yet. There you go. 600. I mean, we could argue that I should have measured the displacement at this point. You can let me know in the comment what you would have done. But this morning, for whatever reason, I guess I measured it from this point and it was 600. So I placed my order here. So you can see that even though I have a lot of data, I'm not a computer at the end of the day, you know. I just did my best. I know there's this low, so maybe this could have been a first leg, maybe in the 1 second or 30 second, because I cannot go lower than the 1 minute. Gave 600, put my order here, and then at least 2.5. So here the first level. This one here is at 1.5, so that's why I went for this one. And there's this fair value gap that we could go and fill. But I feel like we could go grab the liquidity here. So let's see what happened this morning. And then I got stopped out like that. So this is what happened this morning. I'm going to show the rest of the price action until 11, and then I'll show you in the journal the reason why I still took this trade. We took out yesterday's high, and then we had the displacement like that. Leaving some fair value gaps here, but no trades. Let's now get to the journal. So now we're back in my journal. By the way, if you guys like those type of videos where I do a little bit of backtesting and journaling, just leave a like and maybe a W again in the comments so I know what to do, what you want to see. So once again, what we're going to do is filter out my trades and try to reproduce and try to look for all the trades that look like today. So first of all, let's go back into today's trade. So you can see here that the trade was present in the 1 minute. We had fair value gap in the 1 minute. We had a fair value gap right there in the 2 minute. Another fair value gap here in the 3 minute. And then on the 4 and the 5, it was not present. So let's first filter out like that. In the 1, 2, 3. Then the execution time was around, I think, 10:15. Yeah, so 10:25, so I need to put here 10:15. Then of course the displacement 600. The time the setup formed, it formed again at 10:15. At 10:15 we had the displacement, the fair value gap, and the break of the low at this time here. And then the liquidity graph, which level was taking out. Today it was today's high, which was right there here at 9 a.m. And then we had the takeout at 10 a.m. So let's put it was today's high here at 9 a.m. So in my journal, there are only 3 instances where a trade like this one appeared. And all of them, except today, of course, I didn't write today's trade in my journal. All of them were wins. So we're going to look for those trades. So let's check the first one. It was on the 27th of January. Oh my god, an EMA. So don't blame me. At this time I just started going to the mentorship. You can see that eventually I removed the CMA, so don't roast me please. But you can see here that the high was around 9 a.m. It was taking out. We had a displacement, break of those lows, of displacement of at least 600 with those 2 fair value gaps. You can see how successful this one was. The next one was on the 22nd of February. So the high, today's high was at 9:55, around 9:55. So we had the break, displacement of at least 600, break of the low, fair value gap, and an amazing trade here. I think it went eventually for a 1 to 10 or something like that. Of course, I didn't get 1 to 10. I was maybe for testing or back testing, but this is not the point today. And then the last one was, it's actually in September 2nd. So let's check. So we had today's high, which was around 9. We had the break, the displacement, fair value gap, break of those lows, all of those lows here, and then an amazing trade once again. So this is the reason why I'm not even mad today about my loss, because based on my data, I was supposed to take it. And as long as my data is telling me that this is worth taking those type of setup, I'll keep taking it then. So next time I see the same setup, I'll take it again.